But yeah, I never had a girlfriend before. So I think it's better just to be single and just focus on myself and just do what makes me happy. And I just like talking to kids. Because when I seen the kids have Lightning McQueen stuff or Stitch, I like to shake hands. The same way I clap cheeks. Raw, no rubber, and no baby oil. Ka-chow! I don't know. I'm not gonna even talk about it. Look what that guy put. I should make a video about saying goodbye to you guys.
Brent Johnson is genuinely fucking insufferable, and I hate everyone who donates money to him and defends him using his autism to excuse his actions. This motherfucker knows exactly what he's doing. He's just another Disney.
For over a year, this 27-year-old man built an audience on TikTok by acting like a child, singing Disney songs, showing off his Lightning McQueen collection, and going live every single day in a room covered floor to ceiling with Cars merchandise.
So, this is what my room looks like. So on the wall, I got these backpacks, stocking, and
He presented himself as harmless, a big kid who just loved Disney, and someone you'd feel sorry for, not threatened by.
The way I see that you're the one for me, girl, the way I see.
But while Brent was performing this wholesome Disney adult persona for thousands of followers, mostly children, he was also doing something else. He was texting minors. But the minor texts weren't the only thing Brent was hiding behind his Lightning McQueen toys. Brent has an older sister, Jolene, who blocked him years ago, and when he tried to contact her again in 2023, commenting on her photos and calling her on Messenger,
Just say, like, look, sister, you look beautiful as mom, and I just want to say I love you as always. And then I commented, and then she deleted the comment.
She didn't simply ignore him. She blocked him everywhere she could. Brent kept finding ways back in by creating new Facebook accounts, following her again, and messaging her again, only to get blocked each time. That pattern kept repeating until his behavior spoke for itself and earned him the label of a stalker. And his sister isn't the only woman he's been stalking. Brent's high school crush, Lydia, was also caught up in all of this mess. She graduated in 2017. Blocked him in 2018. He created a new account in 2023. She blocked him again. He created another account in 2025, and she blocked him again.
Slop on my knob, like corn on the cob. Check in with me and do your job.
When trolls catfished him pretending to be Lydia, he sent explicit messages knowing she was married, knowing she'd blocked him multiple times, knowing she wanted nothing to do with him.
You wanna grab my butt? To be honest, I'd rather like slap your butt if that's okay. Because I don't feel like no one grabbing my butt, you know?
Now at this point you might be thinking, okay, this guy's delusional and creepy, but he's also kind of pathetic. Just another sad internet lolcow who doesn't understand boundaries. But if that was all there was to Brent Johnson, we wouldn't be here. Because while he was stalking women and building his Disney brand, he was also scamming his fans. In March 2025, Brent created a GoFundMe asking for money to go to Disneyland, his dream trip, once in a lifetime. People donated $1,700, and then Brent canceled the trip without any explanation or even refunds. Just more toys for his collection. And through all of this predatory behavior, stalking, scamming, and lies, Brent kept going live every single day, for hours, performing his Disney fantasy for an audience that was mostly children. So who is Brent Johnson? How did a guy with a suspicious past build an audience of thousands of children? How did TikTok let it happen for over a year before doing anything? The answers start long before TikTok, long before the Disney obsession, and before the internet gave him access to an endless supply of children who didn't know any better. But before we go back to the beginning, let's start with the controversy that should have ended everything. The moment that exposed exactly what Brent Johnson is and why he should never have been allowed on the internet in the first place. In early 2025, screenshots started circulating on TikTok. Screenshots that showed Brent Johnson talking to someone he knew was 15 years old. And what he said wasn't just inappropriate, it was disgustingly disturbing. The conversation started simple enough. Brent asked her age, a reasonable question if you're talking to someone online and want to make sure they're an adult. She responded 15. Most people, when they find out they're talking to a minor, stop the conversation immediately, apologize, and then move on. That's what normal people do. But that wasn't the case here. Brent's response was, "You are old enough to make me want to..." The sentence trailed off. He didn't finish it. He didn't need to. The implication was clear. This 26-year-old man had just told a 15-year-old girl her age was old enough to make him want something. Something he knew better than to type out fully. And it gets worse, because the 15-year-old, realizing what just happened, threatened to make the conversation public. She told him she was going to expose what he just said. And at this point, Brent's reply wasn't even an apology or a denial, not even panic that he might get in trouble. His reply was, "Please, baby, once I do you a favor, then you don't have to publish our personal business." Look at this. He's calling a 15-year-old baby. And he's framing this predatory conversation as our personal business, like they're in a relationship. He even went as far as trying to keep her quiet by offering to do her a favor if she doesn't expose him. This is exactly what predators do. They try to make the victim complicit and frame it as a secret you both share. And Brent did it in writing, on TikTok. When people started asking him about it on his live streams, Brent did what he always does when confronted with evidence. He lied.
Wait, so you texted a minor?
It was an accident. I thought it was.
You know if he was a minor, right?
I did not know, because I did not know.
But this wasn't an isolated incident, because once that first screenshot went viral, more victims started coming forward. More conversations, more evidence that this wasn't a one-time mistake. One group of internet sleuths, people who had been watching Brent's behavior for months, decided to test him. They wanted to see if the 15-year-old was a fluke or if this was a pattern. So they created a fake account, posed as a 16-year-old girl named Marlena, and they waited to see what Brent would do. They didn't have to wait long, as Brent started talking to her immediately. Within hours of the account being created, he was in her DMs asking if he could date her. The trolls running the account played it carefully. They let Brent make the first moves, let him reveal his intentions naturally. And when the moment felt right, Marlena told him her age, that she was 16. And Brent, to his credit, initially backed off. He said okay, made some excuse, and stopped pursuing her for about 5 minutes. Because then Marlena mentioned one more thing, one detail that changed everything. She told him she has autism, and Brent immediately came back. And this is where the catfish operation proved its point. This wasn't about attraction or confusion or genuine connection. This was about targeting someone Brent thought he could control. And Marlena wasn't the only one. There's a third victim, another minor. Screenshots show Brent messaging her, asking her to be his girlfriend, and then telling her to keep it a secret. Secret keeping is Predator 101. If what you're doing is innocent, if it's appropriate, if it's legal, there's no reason to hide it. Another victim of Brent's predatory behavior is Jajira, who posted that Brent was fully aware that she was a teenager, that they'd had conversations where her age came up, and that despite knowing he still sent her explicit messages. According to her post, Brent specifically said he was into young Latinas. Not just Latinas, young Latinas. He specified the age demographic he was targeting. So counting it all, that's 4 victims that we know about. 4 separate instances of Brent Johnson pursuing minors. Who knows how many we don't know about? How many conversations happen in DMs that were never screenshotted? For all these cases, what they have in common is young, vulnerable, in Brent's orbit through TikTok. His entire platform was designed to attract this demographic. The Disney aesthetic made him seem harmless. The childish content drew in kids who thought he was relatable, and the emotional breakdowns made them feel responsible for his happiness. So how does someone like this exist? How does a 26-year-old man spend years building an audience of children, talking to minors, getting exposed repeatedly, and still maintain a platform? To answer that, you need to understand who Brent Johnson actually is, where he came from, how he ended up in a group home in Arizona with no family contact and a past he refuses to explain, and how he built an entire identity around never growing up. Brent Johnson was born on April 29, 1999, which means he's not some confused teenager making mistakes online. He's 27 years old, and the story of how he became the person you just saw starts long before he ever had internet access.
The only holiday I don't celebrate is Father's Day. Now, the reason why I don't celebrate Father's Day is because my dad abandoned me for almost 27 years. And you know what?
Brent's father was never in his life. From what's been reported, Brent's father was abusive toward his mother while she was pregnant with him. Eventually, her parents intervened and took her away. And from that day forward, Brent's father completely removed himself from the picture.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to hang out with him. I don't want to be around him. And I don't even want to spend time with him. I don't hate him. I don't ever want to be like my dad.
His mother was present for most of his early life, but present doesn't always mean stable. She had 11 children, and according to what Brent has implied online, she wasn't always there in a truly consistent or stable way.
My mom passed away 7 years ago, right after my 19th birthday.
She passed away from cancer, and Brent has weaponized that loss ever since, brings it up constantly, uses it to gain sympathy from viewers, plays the grief card whenever he needs people to feel sorry for him, which would be one thing if it was genuine. But when you use your dead mother as a get-out-of-accountability card every time someone calls you out for texting minors, it stops being grief and starts being manipulation. Somewhere along the way, Brent allegedly ended up in foster care. The exact reason isn't clear, but it could have been financial, his mother's inability to provide for 11 kids, or it could have been something else entirely.
Fed myself, and then my foster dad was coming out towards me, grabbed my shoulder, and I tried to get off, but...
What we do know is that even in foster care, Brent's behavior was violent and unstable. He admitted to physically abusing his elderly foster parents during arguments, lashing out. However, this wasn't a one-time thing, this was a pattern. What we know for certain is that Brent was sent to juvenile detention as a teenager.
That's why I was sent to juvenile, because I was having a hard time.
Brent has autism. He's talked about it openly. And to be clear, autism doesn't make someone a predator. Autism doesn't make someone violent. Millions of people on the spectrum live completely normal, healthy, non-abusive lives. But Brent uses his autism as a shield, as an excuse, as a reason why people should lower their expectations and give him endless grace no matter what he does. And that's where it becomes a problem. Because when you combine untreated trauma, violent tendencies, zero accountability, and a diagnosis you're willing to weaponize, you get someone who believes the rules don't apply to them. However, throughout all of this, Brent had one dream. He wanted to be a pop star. Specifically, he wanted to be Justin Bieber.
Whenever I see your face, you've always make my heart race. Girl, you are the one for me, and there's nobody I'd rather be, because yo.
He performed on his live streams, made his own songs, genuinely believed he was talented, genuinely believed he was popular.
So it's hold on, listen. It's give me the real ones once I know.
And that delusion would carry forward into his online career years later. In late 2020, Brent Johnson created his first TikTok account. He was 21 years old, living in a group home, unemployed, and about to discover that the internet doesn't care about your past as long as you're entertaining. His early content was exactly what you'd expect. Videos about the Disney movie Cars, singing covers of popular songs, dancing, showing off his massive collection of Lightning McQueen and Toy Mater toys. And when we say massive, we mean massive. His entire room was a shrine to cars, toys, posters, figurines, DVDs. This was his entire identity. Now there's a term for this, Disney adult, someone over 18 who maintains an intense attachment to Disney media and makes it a core part of their identity. And to be clear, liking Disney as an adult is normal, millions of people do, but there's a difference between enjoying nostalgia and never mentally leaving childhood. But Brent, let's just say he never left childhood. When you present yourself as a big kid who loves Disney and just wants to sing and have fun, people lower their guard. Parents don't worry about their kids watching you. The algorithm doesn't flag you as a risk. You get to exist in a space where nobody questions your proximity to children. From this moment, Brent went live constantly, singing songs for his audience, showing off his Disney collection, dancing and flexing his physique, and talking, constantly talking, about his life, his family, his crushes, his trauma, everything that most people would keep private. Brent broadcast to hundreds of strangers.
I'm pretty sure. I wonder what the Mexican people react, especially with the girls. What would they react if I ever write a song in Spanish?
This created a parasocial loop that Brent became completely dependent on. Viewers felt like they knew him, felt obligated to support him, to send gifts, to stay on stream and keep his company. And Brent fed that loop, made people feel responsible for his emotional well-being. Cried over random things, got upset when someone didn't respond the way he wanted. At this point, it was emotional hostage-taking. So now Brent had everything he'd ever wanted. An audience, attention, a platform to perform his pop star fantasy, and then he did what people like Brent always do. He started asking for money. On March 20th, 2025, Brent Johnson created a GoFundMe. The goal? Raise a few $1,000s to pay for his dream vacation to Disneyland. I'm trying to raise money for my Disneyland trip so I can have fun, bring back memories, and visit my favorite place, which is Cars Land. The framing was pure manipulation. He presented it as a once-in-a-lifetime trip, his dream, the thing that would make all his struggles worth it. And people donated because they believed him and felt sorry for him. The GoFundMe raised $1,700, and then Brent canceled the trip. And in the days that followed, Brent was seen buying more and more toys, expanding his collection, spending money freely. The math wasn't hard to do. When people started asking where the money went, Brent got defensive and played the victim. In one particular video, he mentioned that his staff would want money from him just because they knew about the GoFundMe. But there was something about this video that was completely hilarious.
But my staff would just want money from me. And I got uncomfortable when he asked me that. Brent, I'm just joking. I was kidding. You're allowed to prank us, but we can't prank you back. What a crybaby.
He acted like the problem was people questioning him, not that he'd taken money under false pretenses and pocketed it. Because here's the thing. GoFundMe is designed for emergencies, situations where someone genuinely can't afford something they need. Not for a 25-year-old unemployed man to go to Disneyland. This was Brent's first major controversy, and it established a cycle that would repeat over and over. Step 1, manipulate sympathy. Step 2, get what you want. Step 4, cry and play the victim. And the final step, wait for it to blow over.
But don't worry, guys, I get to. Hey, Brent, hey. I just want to pursue my dreams, you know.
And it worked, because the people who called him out eventually moved on. For a brief moment, it looked like Brent had gotten away with it, but the trolls weren't done digging. Because once they started looking into his past, asking questions about why a 26-year-old man was living in a group home with no family contact, they found something that explained why his family wanted nothing to do with him. And it was much worse than a GoFundMe scam. So the thing is, Brent Johnson has two sisters, an older sister named Jolene, and a younger sister believed to be named Jamie. And neither of them wanted anything to do with him. According to the stories, in November 2023, the day after Thanksgiving, Brent was scrolling Facebook and came across a picture his older sister Jolene had posted. He commented, "You look as beautiful as Mom." Their mother had passed away from cancer years earlier. So to Jolene, seeing her dead mother's name attached to a comment from the brother she'd been avoiding was not sweet. It was triggering. She deleted the comment immediately. Brent tried to video call her on Messenger. She hung up. He sent her a message apologizing if she was mad, and she blocked him on Facebook, on Instagram, everywhere.
So back in November, it was November 24th of 2023. I was checking my sister's profile, and I was giving her a compliment, and I just say, like, "Look, sister, you look beautiful as Mom, and I just want to say I love you as always." And then I commented, and then she deleted the comment. And I tried to message her. No, I tried to video call her, and then she hung up. And I just said, "Hey, sister, if you're mad at me, I just wanted to say I'm sorry, and can you forgive me?" And then I put like a sad face right next to it.
And this is where Brent revealed exactly who he is. Because when someone blocks you, the message is crystal clear. They don't want contact. You leave them alone. But Brent didn't leave her alone. He created a new Facebook account, followed her, and sent her another message. She didn't respond. Ghosted him for months, then blocked the new account too. So he created another account. Tried again. Got blocked. Again. This is stalking. By definition, when you repeatedly attempt contact with someone who's made it clear they don't want it, you are stalking them. But Brent clearly doesn't see that. Jolene eventually commented on one of the TikTok videos about Brent, and what she said confirmed everything. How the freak am I even a topic? This was years ago. I blocked him because he always would blow up my phone by calling and texting me nonstop and would talk about me in public, so yes, I put up a wall. He blew up her phone with calls and texts nonstop, talked about her in public without her consent, commented on every single picture comparing her to their dead mother, and she was grieving. She didn't need a daily reminder of the person she'd lost from the person she was actively trying to avoid, so she put up a wall. Which is what healthy people do when someone repeatedly violates their boundaries. But Brent didn't respect that wall, and whenever someone brought up his sister on his live streams, he would break down.
I don't know why they put that
on TikTok about that guy just put like about my sister and stuff. And it really bothers me.
He'd either cry, shut down the conversation entirely, or end the stream, and his audience, not knowing the full story, would feel bad for him.
People saying that you've done stuff to your sister or other stuff, which I don't know if that's true or not.
No.
And then there's the question nobody can definitively answer. What truly happened?
That's just making me uncomfortable. I would never do that to my sister.
Brent has confirmed he went to juvenile detention as a teenager, has confirmed his sisters want nothing to do with him. When you combine all of that, people online have drawn a conclusion that Brent sexually assaulted his sister. That's why he went to juvie. That's why the family separated. That's why he ended up in a group home. That's why Jolene blocks him on sight. Whether or not the allegations about his sister are true, one thing's undeniable. Brent does not understand boundaries. He stalks, he manipulates, he cries to make you feel bad for enforcing limits. And when that doesn't work, he finds another way to reach you. This is predatory behavior. And his sister wasn't even the first woman he stalked. There was another one, someone from high school, a lady he'd been obsessed with for over 10 years. And the trolls were about to use that obsession to expose him in the most brutal way possible. Her name is Lydia.
I like this girl back in high school, but I'm not gonna go back. I'm not gonna talk to her ever again. Lydia's the one you sent out back in high school.
She went to Parker High School in Arizona with Brent, graduated in 2017. And for the past 10 years, Brent has been completely unable to let her go. In Brent's mind, Lydia was the one, his high school crush. The girl who got away and the person who would one day realize she was meant to be with him.
You'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on.
Lydia wanted nothing to do with him. Not in high school, not after, and not at any point in her life. In 2018, after graduation, Brent kept calling and texting her until she finally blocked him. That should have been the end of it, but years later, in August 2023, he created a new Facebook account and reached out again, saying he wanted to be friends. He waited months for a response, but Lydia never replied and chose to ignore him completely. By October 2023, she blocked that account as well. Then in March 2025, Brent tried again with yet another account and sent her a friend request, and once again, Lydia blocked him without hesitation.
About this girl, what's up with that? Like, no disrespect, obviously.
That's making me uncomfortable right there.
Did you do something? Or like, what happened? If you want to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
Why you just leave me alone?
No, like, Brent, no. Because, like, I be seeing it and, like, you know,
Yes,
I was
I know.
gone.
I've seen it, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
The trolls who had been documenting Brent's behavior realized they could use his obsession against him. So they created a fake Lydia account, and Brent fell for it immediately. He started messaging the account. The conversation turned explicitly sexual. Disturbing doesn't even cover it.
You wanna grab my butt? To be honest, I'd rather like slap your butt. That's okay, cause I don't feel like no one grabbing my butt. You know. Saying like you're beautiful, can I be your boyfriend? And I will effing you. I don't want to say it, but did you tell your parents about it so they can and you only wear like.
The trolls running the fake account took it further, convinced Brent to block his own friends and moderators, manipulated him into fights, made him look like an idiot in front of his own audience. But eventually Brent figured out he'd been catfished, that the person he thought was Lydia was actually a man running a sting operation. The real Lydia had moved on. She's allegedly married. She probably doesn't think about Brent Johnson at all, but Brent thinks about her constantly, talks about her on stream, fantasizes about a reunion that will never happen, refuses to accept that she doesn't want him and never did.
Lydia's the one you sent out back in high school. You're making me uncomfortable with that.
That's 10 years of blocking. 10 years of him coming back with new accounts. 10 years of refusing to hear no. And Lydia wasn't the last woman to experience this, because a few months later, Brent set his sights on someone new. And this time, the internet was watching in real time. Jasmine Garcia is a YouTube content creator. She makes videos, posts occasionally, lives her life. And at some point in 2022, Brent Johnson started following her. According to Brent, he'd been a fan of hers for years, left comments on her videos. She'd even liked a few of them, and in Brent's mind, that meant something. That meant they had a connection. That meant she cared about him.
This is for all the trolls and haters out there.
I'm coming for you, Storm.
That's what you get, trolls and haters. I'm coming for you.
A few moments later.
And you know what? I'm not gonna be on TikTok anymore because I'm done. I was gonna be back on, but you know what? Since you guys ruined it.
Yeah, you go to Planet Fitness, Brent. It's like really cheap too.
Did she follow you? I'm sure she'll follow
They got
you.
like, yeah, they got all the machines too, Brent. It's all good.
She'll like follow me tomorrow. Like I don't want to like bother her or anything. Just want her to enjoy her night. And I'm sure she's probably happy. She's probably like sleeping right now. She was like, I can't believe I talked to Brent. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, this person said EOS is better. Low-key, yeah, EOS is good.
By early 2026, Brent Johnson was going live on TikTok multiple times a day, every single day, for hours at a time like it was his job. Or at least that's what he told himself. Brent posted a video announcing he would not be attending his 10-year high school reunion in 2027. The reason was that his old high school friends don't respond to his messages. They leave him on red. They block him. And Brent, who's almost 30, is still devastated by this.
That I made my decision for next year in 2027. What I'm trying to say is that I am not and I won't be attending to my 10-year reunion of my high school graduation. They just let me on scene. You know what? And to be honest, I'm much better off without them, and I don't need them.
He went on for minutes, talking about how he's better off without them, how they never really cared about him, how the only true friend he has is someone named Nico Vlogs who tags him on his birthday.
And the only friend, the true friend I have the most is Nicholas, aka Nico Vlogs.
Around the same time, people started asking Brent a very reasonable question. If you're unemployed and struggling, why don't you get a job?
Well, my day was good until this morning because my job coach didn't show up this morning.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no joke. My when I was waiting inside the entrance of the building, like a thrifting store, I was waiting inside. And I waited almost 10 o'clock, like 14 minutes to 10 o'clock.
Well, the truth is, Brent doesn't want to work.
Social media is my job. I don't need no actual job. TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube can be my job. If you don't like the content, you just have to deal with it.
He wants to sit in his room, watch cartoons, go live on TikTok, and have other people pay him for existing. That's why he keeps making up countless lies about jobs in his videos. He's claimed his dream is to work at Disneyland. But when pressed about actually applying, he goes silent. He's mentioned volunteering at food banks, but framed it like charity work stops him from needing actual employment. He said he had a job coach at some point, which is typically something assigned to people who need help learning basic workplace skills. And when someone suggested he get off social media if the trolls were making him miserable, Brent delivered one of his most unhinged responses yet.
You cannot tell someone to leave social media if you believe in God.
According to Brent, suggesting someone take a break from the internet is unchristian. Judgment, a sin essentially. Now, this is the level of mental gymnastics required to live in this reality. But here's what makes all of this so much worse. While Brent was ranting about his right to post on TikTok, blocking people for the mildest criticism, TikTok had the receipts the entire time. Of the minor texts, stalking allegations, and patterns of predatory behavior documented across dozens of commentary videos with millions of combined views. And they did nothing. For over a year, they let him go live every single day to an audience that was predominantly children, let him build his Disney brand as cover, let him monetize emotional breakdowns and trauma dumping and parasocial manipulation, until finally in early 2026, someone at TikTok reviewed his account, and Brent's live streaming privileges were restricted. Brent posted a dramatic goodbye video, say he'd never go live again, thanked his supporters, blamed the haters, the usual performance. And as of right now, Brent is still Brent. Somehow he's gone under the radar, believing that if he waits just long enough, people will forget. But the thing about the internet is it never forgets. The screenshots don't disappear, and the cycle doesn't erase itself just because someone got temporarily banned from going live. Brent Johnson is 27 years old. He lives in a group home, has no contact with his family, refuses to work, and spent years building an audience of children while texting minors, stalking women, and scamming his fans. TikTok's ban didn't fix anything. It just moved the problem. Because people like Brent don't stop. They find new platforms, new audiences, new ways to access the people they shouldn't be anywhere near. And the social media let it happen. Because engagement is engagement. Views are views. And as long as someone's making the money, the safety concerns can wait.
Don't talk to me, hater. Don't talk to me, and I'll see you all later, yeah. I can't take it anymore, so I just gotta ignore. And that's for sure, yeah, that's for sure, yeah, that's for sure, yeah.